I don't know where these 3,000 jobs are coming from. Unemployment has gone up every month under his government. And perhaps he should speak to farmers and small business people and find out what those working people think about his government. Mr. Speaker, I'm not talking the country down, I'm talking him down.
The clash was meant to be routine, but it quickly turned into a political demolition. Keir Starmer walked in believing he could corner everyone with economic sound bites and his familiar, rehearsed lines. What he didn't expect was Kemi Badenoch, sharp, direct, and unforgiving, turning each of his talking points into a weapon against him. But did Starmer really have nothing to say? Let's find out. Starmer tried to play economist-in-chief, leaning on buzzwords and half-formed accusations about taxes and growth. From the outset, it was clear he came armed with pre-packaged lines designed to sound slick on television rather than answer real questions. Then Badenoch landed the first precise strike, forcing him to define his position on income, taxes, and economic fairness. It was a soft question for any leader who truly understands their policies. The chamber fell silent because everyone knew this was the moment where leaders either shine or crumble.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, the head of the OBR warned the government that higher and higher levels of taxes are bad for growth. Does the Prime Minister agree?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'll tell you what's bad for growth. 14 years of a Tory government. That's what the stagnant growth for 14 years, leaving a £22 billion black hole. What we've achieved, Mr. Speaker, in the first quarter of this year is the highest growth in the G7, something we promised before the election. Investment of £120 billion into this country, which is a record in the first year of any government, and 3 trade deals, all of which will boost growth.
And crumble he did. Instead of clearly defining what he stands for, he slipped into safe talking points about past Conservative governments, sounding more like someone still campaigning than actually governing. He boasted about short-term growth figures and investment numbers, as if throwing big statistics into the air counted as a real answer. In truth, it exposed how unprepared and hollow his leadership appeared. He couldn't give a straight response because there wasn't one to give. Labour's stance on income and taxes remains deliberately vague, allowing room to raise taxes without openly admitting it. This was the moment viewers at home saw through the performance. Starmer wasn't speaking to the chamber. He was speaking at, hoping applause from his own side would mask the fact that he avoided the one question that mattered. It was the first clear sign he wasn't ready for the level of scrutiny Badenoch brought.
Mr. Speaker, he's talking about what he achieved. We just heard that inflation is up again, the worst in the G7. We left him with 2% inflation. We have borrowing up, unemployment up, taxes are up under his government. The fact is the Prime Minister doesn't get it, so let me tell him. His budget last year had high taxes. That's why the economy is contracting. But, Mr. Speaker, the government has said that they won't put up taxes for people on modest incomes. But they also seem incapable of explaining who is in that category. So can the Prime Minister clear up the confusion and tell us what he thinks a modest income?
She knew she had him cornered and moved in immediately, driving the point home by pointing to inflation, unemployment, and rising taxes under Starmer's leadership. This was no longer about the past. It was about now, about his record, and he knew it. She then asked what should have been the easiest question imaginable. What exactly does he consider a modest income? Everyone understands this is a basic marker of economic policy. If you can't define it, you don't understand your tax system. His response was painful to watch. Instead of answering, he slipped into vague emotional pandering about hard-working people, never explaining what modest actually means. It was like asking a chef for a recipe and hearing, "I just love cooking." That kind of evasion doesn't survive at the dispatch box. Badenoch wasn't letting it go. This exchange exposed a leader who memorizes campaign slogans but struggles under real policy scrutiny. It showed the country that his supposed vision of fairness rests on feelings and sound bites, not clear definitions or measurable outcomes. The humiliation wasn't in what he said, but in what he avoided saying. The silence and waffle revealed more truth than any answer could.
Mr. Speaker, I think of the working people across this country who put in every day and don't get back what they deserve, and that's who we're working for. That's who we're fixing the country. The sort of people that work hard but haven't necessarily got the savings to buy themselves out of problems. And, Mr. Speaker, that's who we're working for, and that's why we put the national living wage up. That's an extra £1,400. The national minimum wage up. That's £2,500 a year. The triple lock, Mr. Speaker, that went up pension up £470. And, of course, we're extending childcare, opening free breakfast clubs and free school meals. We know exactly who we're working for. She comes here every week and just talks the country down.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not talking the country down. I'm talking him down. I asked him what a modest income was. He answered what a working person is. He doesn't know what a modest income is, and even on working people, they cannot define it. The Chief Secretary to the Treasury said that working people are people who don't get a payslip, but millions of self-employed people don't get a payslip. So are the self-employed next in line for a Labour tax rate?
After dodging the modest income question, Starmer could feel the pressure closing in. Instead of resetting and answering like a serious leader, he chose to flood the chamber with a feel-good shopping list. Wage increases, free school breakfasts, triple lock pensions, and anything else he could toss out for applause. It was desperate, a man trying to replace substance with noise. Everyone saw it. Badenoch stayed unfazed, waited for him to finish, then stated the obvious. None of what he'd said answered the question. It was pure political theater, crafted for headline clips, not real debate. Cornered, Starmer switched tactics and tried throwing mud back at Badenoch. He dug up old grievances, painting conservatives as anti-self-employed and untrustworthy in the past. It was a transparent pivot away from the present, where his government is under fire. That move told viewers everything. Starmer doesn't want to talk about what's happening now because it's indefensible. Instead of leading, he slipped into opposition-style deflection, which is humiliating when you're sitting in the Prime Minister's chair.
The self-employed were the very people who suffered under their watch, repeatedly suffered under their watch, particularly if I remember during COVID, and when they didn't get the support that they needed. But she talks the country down, she cherry-picks. We have created, Mr. Speaker, since we've been in government, we've created 380,000 jobs, the employment rate is up, and inactivity is down, the complete opposite of what we inherited.
This response fell flat because the chamber wasn't interested in history lessons. It wanted answers to problems happening right now. Badenoch's framing was lethal. Labour is confused about who working people actually are. They're flirting with higher taxes. And Starmer is dodging again. His boasting about jobs created didn't land either, because unemployment is rising month after month. Before we go any further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share it, and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive videos on the groundbreaking changes happening on Offscript. Let's continue now.
I don't know where these 3,000 jobs are coming from. Unemployment has gone up every month under his government. And perhaps he should speak to farmers and small business people and find out what those working people think about his government. But, Mr. Speaker, that's not all. We know the Chancellor is launching a review into pension contributions. It's as clear as day why this is. It is because the government is considering taxing them. Does the Prime Minister agree with me that a tax on pension contributions is a tax on working people?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we made absolutely clear manifesto commitments, which she asked me about last week and we're keeping to. I'm not going to write the budget months out from the budget. But, Mr. Speaker, I'm proud of the decisions that we took to invest in our NHS, to invest in our public services, all the decisions that they opposed. And it's no wonder that after a first year of a Labour government, business confidence is a 9-year high. 9-year high. That's longer than she's been in government. Mr. Speaker, 384. I'm not withdrawing, I'm going to repeat. Business confidence is at a 9-year high.
Badenoch sensed blood and pushed even harder, pointing to the real pain on the ground. Small businesses, farmers, and pensioners worried about Labour's potential new taxes. This wasn't hypothetical. It connected directly to people's wallets and their futures. Starmer's response was the same bland optimism about economic confidence and investment, language that sounds fine in a press release but collapses under scrutiny. It was like watching someone try to put out a fire by saying, "Don't worry, the building is modern." Then came the finishing blow. Badenoch exposed Starmer's hypocrisy. While ordinary people could face higher taxes on pensions, Starmer's own pension pot is legally protected. That landed like a freight train because it wasn't just about policy. It was about character. It sent a clear message. Here is a man willing to raise costs for others while shielding himself. That cuts through politics faster than any statistic ever could.
Mr. Speaker, he says he's not going to write the budget, but his Chancellor is on the front of the Daily Mirror talking about what she's going to do on taxes. So why can't he do the same in the chamber? Yes. But I asked him about pension contributions. The truth is he doesn't want to talk about pension contributions. It's all right for the Prime Minister. He has his own special law to stop his personal pension from being taxed. But let's be honest, Mr. Speaker, this is really about choices. My party knows that there is an alternative to tax rises. It's cutting spending, something that they are too scared or perhaps too weak to do. We offered to work with him to reform welfare and make meaningful savings. But his refusal sent a signal, and now the cost of borrowing is rising. The budget is in November, that is months away, and the markets may not wait. What will the Prime Minister be doing over the summer to get a grip on the cost of borrowing?
Badenoch laid out real solutions: cutting wasteful spending, reforming welfare, and saving billions without punishing working people. That contrast said everything. She had a clear vision and a plan. He had hesitation and silence. Starmer's body language told the full story. Arms crossed, posture defensive, eyes darting, searching for an exit that didn't exist. In just a few minutes, Badenoch dismantled not only his arguments, but his credibility. He didn't look like a man running the country. He looked like someone clinging to a job he doesn't know how to do. It was a masterclass in political humiliation, and everyone watching knew who won and who lost. Is this the leadership Britain needs, when even basic questions leave him speechless? Let us know in the comments. How long can Starmer hide behind slogans before the truth finally catches up? If you want more videos like this, please like, share, and subscribe for more updates on British politics and how events are reshaping it. Until the next video, stay tuned. The clash was meant to be routine, but it turned into a political demolition.